I lost almost all the videos. The worst case scenario is we go to the election and that is like a massive headache. So yeah, I ended up deleting the prompt that was part of my whole script generation workflow. So good morning. It's close to 11. I woke up a bit late, drove the whole day yesterday from Kandy to Colombo and then back. Super tired. But yeah, today Unwir officially turns 3. So wow, it's been a journey. And I can't believe, like, it feels like it's been longer because it has. Unwire started officially 3 years ago, but like we went through many iterations when we were in university, just starting out. So, fun fact, we started this thing as Coding Bears. That was the first name we came up with. We were not even a fully fledged company. It was just me and a team of co-founders. So, Menaka, Lan, Namindu, myself, we were just trying to figure out what we can do. I think Coding Bears was something we were trying to do, bringing a blog. So, I think back in that time, blogs were a bit like big news. Everyone was trying to write a blog, and this is like before AI came in, right? So, blogs were super useful. Then that turned to Unicode Dev. That was like the first job we had at like doing real client work. So the first projects we did as Unicode Dev, still not in a registered company, but we created like a brand for us called Unicode Dev. And then we came to our first serious client project where we needed to be a legal entity if we took that project. And that was when Unwir was born. So super grateful for everyone who have supported during this journey. My parents, my family, my co-founders, and all the team members past and present, and every client, because for someone to say yes for a bunch of uni kids, right, still haven't even graduated, and wow, I'm like super lucky in that regards, because it's like not easy to get a yes from a client, especially when you are like just learning out, right? You're still learning your craft. The transformation it has had on me, it's like super genuine, because think about it, I started as a developer, right? Didn't know what to expect from a business, how to run it, because like our whole thing, though we registered as a business, we were like acting like a bunch of freelancers who were working together on projects, right? So from that then onwards to seeing what a business needs, moving away from development to now the sales and marketing side. So it has forced me to do a lot of things that were technically not easy to do. Yeah, for sure, pushed me out of my comfort zone, but I think it has helped me in ways I can't even imagine. So really thankful for the whole journey. But yeah, it's time to turn everything around, and I want to make this third year the turning point for Unwir, everyone involved. So that is the plan, and right now it's time to get back to work. So first things first, for the day we are going to work on client acquisition. So I'm going to make a bet on myself, not a bet, but this is going to be how we're going to do things, right? So each day I'm going to sit down, write 25 emails, and that is going to be the main task for every day, because we are going to sign our first client within the next 30 days. That's the plan. So 25 emails, research, personalize, send them out. That's it. And we also have our onboarding call for our head of growth. So her name is Natalia. She's joining us today. That's going to be at 12:30. So we have like 1.5 hours left before the meeting kick up. Again, overslept a bit, but we had to catch up. So let's get back to work. So let's do this. I'll get you familiarized first with this code, right? I think it can be a bit difficult to understand if you are not familiar with it. So good morning. So it's 9 a.m. Today is Tuesday. Okay, so yesterday, I don't know what happened, but I lost almost all the videos trying to move to a hard drive. I mean, okay, what to do? So it will be like half-baked story yesterday, but anyhow, let's get to work today. Sort of busy day. So we have number one in the morning is going to be sending out the necessary outreach. And second, so we have 2 meetings today lined up. One is for the bank project. So this is to discuss a few financial areas, because now the project has been delayed. There's a delayed surcharge that is going to be charged that the bank has to pay as a fine. And now we're just discussing how we can process it, because from the bank's estimate, the infrastructure and everything will be ready by June 1st. So we can start development on that date. But then the obligations on the financial financial side according to our contracts is there. So actually for us to start, we had to align infrastructure is yes, that's ticked off, but the financial obligation has to be ticked off as well. So just a discussion on that. And another one is for the bumped in application. The client actually wants to move ahead with the change request that they had. If you remember, we did pitch them a new direction for the application, but they just wanted to first do the CR, and now we are just discussing the other ways we can pivot the app into, because the previous thing is not actually working. So we are trying to go to more niche and then formulate everything behind that. So good stuff. I have to go tick those things out. But other than that, yeah, I'm going to sit down and do the work. So I think most of the time, most vlogs might show like the most glamorous parts of being an entrepreneur, going to the events, flying around, the dinners and all these things. But it's like mostly the boring work. I think Alex Hormozy says that for you to be great, you should enjoy doing the boring work, which is like these kind of things, right? Outreach is not something that I enjoy. Yeah, the part I enjoy is like once you get a client, the solution design part where we find the issues they're going through and coming with solutions, that like I enjoy very much. But this is the boring work for me, and most of the time the boring work is what gets you all the growth, right? So yeah, if you look at all the past videos, it's like mostly me in my room sitting down here doing work. So that's what it is. It's not most about running around doing this, doing that. Like that's how like I think the entrepreneur space, we try to showcase this as a cool out of this world experience. I mean, I'm not going to tell that that part is not there, right? But especially during the growth stages, it's like more work. And I've seen like people who are doing over like $1 million a month. For example, check out Sean Honey. He's working 12-14 hours while the agency is doing more than $50 million annually, and most of his work is in his desk, right? So boring work is sort of the real work. So yeah, enough talking, time to sit down and get the work done. Right, it's 1 p.m. So we've been working for the last 4 hours or so. Send out emails, build the first few entries for the Dream 100 outreach approach. Those things are done. So good productive morning. Right now, what I'm going to do is building a Claude artifact. So essentially the idea is that, so we in a outreach approach, we try to find angles based on the information we find for a client. For example, maybe they have grown 24% in the last 12 months. And if you look at the hires, it's like mostly on the service delivery side, meaning there is a potential opportunity for us where like we can help them with the operational side, with the system, so that they can actually scale more, so serve more clients, serve their clients better, so drive ROI, all that side. Now the issue is, for me, it's pretty easy to identify and map, like if this is the signal, how can we approach a specific client, because I have the knowledge on the operational sides, right? But it's a bit difficult for our hires, for our team who's working on outreach with me. So the whole idea is trying to dump my knowledge into a tool so they can give specific inputs they find after research for a certain company, and that tool gives them back different angles they can tackle onto that emails they write. So cool thing, and I think it's like pretty great for anyone, because like sometimes SOPs can't cover these sort of things, right? Because an SOP is like a static document, you just give them some instructions and you can't cover all the scenarios, while an AI tool with the necessary context would always trump that. So cool thing to build, and that's like one part of the things that we build for founders that we work with as well. We find like these things that usually automation agencies don't find. So these are like nuances we find, and then we fix those things. So yeah, let's see how we can build it. Yeah, working on it right now. Right, artifact is done. So what it basically does is you can actually go and select the agency type that we're targeting at the moment, and then the signal that we found. So we are looking at headcount growth, any operational gains that the content suggests from a founder's post. Then using that, we can also like put in any specific details if there's like a hiring for a certain role, all those things. And then it does a validation behind the scenes as well, and then it actually gives you different angles that you can use. So the whole thing is to showcase how the offer can be mapped into certain angles, and then the writing of the email is still manual, but this gives them the clarity, and I literally don't have to be in the weeds trying to approve every angle they come up with. So it's like going to be easy for everyone. So I think this is like the power of using AI and kind of automating things, right? So you automate the processes like this, it's like going to save so much time and make life easy for your team, easy for you, and this makes sure that the results go up, right? Because instead of a generic email or like bullshit personalization or just wishing or like just praying that the sales team actually gets the context and they can provide a good enough copy and like make sure that the angle is correct. Those things are literally taken care of. So like AI is there, just have to use it properly and all good. So it's close to 2. I have a couple of more minutes before our stand-up calls. Yeah, gonna take a 15-minute break for the meetings and then back to work. So I think I'll be having meetings back to back to back. So we have like 3 aligned, the 2 team stand-ups and then the one with our client in the evening for the bank project. Yeah, stuff's good. In the long term, we are going to build a payment processor itself rather than just the verifier, right? Oh, that's the all right, meeting's done. The situation with the bank project is like there's like a few legal obligations that like they should honor here. The issue is like once again the whole delay started because of issues from their end. Whole operational mess on that side, the whole process was not clearly defined. So anyways, the thing is now we have set our clauses saying yeah, contractually they should pay a penalty fee for us to restart the development because it was like the whole delay was caused because of their mistakes, right? Now they are trying to sort it out in a smoother way and arguing on the facts and like trying to get that clause removed from the contract mid project. So a lot of things going on here, very difficult as well because like it's not like one person accountable. We have to talk with multiple people on that side. So what our partner and we are trying to do is get into a place where it's like smooth, and we have already like reduced a lot on the penalties as well, like given us a discount, but they're still arguing on the fact. But we are trying to stay strong on this matter and say, look here guys, this is the best we can do. And the thing is like this is all on you guys. We can't control your team's output, and yeah, like I mean, we've already been burned for what 6 or 7 months now because of these issues, and if they're like trying to kind of weasel their way out of penalty fees, it's going to create a more cash flow problem for us. So yeah, we're just trying to manage the situation and the best as we can, because the worst case scenario is we go for legal action, and that is like a massive headache. So yeah, let's try to sort that out. But right now, I'm gonna grab something to eat, and after that, got some admin tasks to sit and sort out. But I think on another note, the structure I put in to my daily schedule, I think it's going to work pretty well, because in the morning hours, I'm not getting distracted by meetings. I like refuse to take any calls in the morning. So from 10 to 1 p.m. it's like for client acquisition, sending emails, sending a connection request, connecting with people, all that stuff. And afternoon meetings, and then yeah, after this time block, which is for the meetings and all, I do sit down for admin work. So all the things are aligned, no worries. So I think this is a good structure. It's about putting in the reps continuously. So yeah, let's grab a bite, come back, and then sit down for the other stuff. All right, so it's 5:30. Spent the last couple of hours working on a few contracts to go over. Those things were done. Polished up a few things on marketing side. So these are done. Now I'm going to take a break, do a workout, and then tonight I'm thinking about learning a bit more on developing agents, and then trying what agents we can develop inside. And yeah, that's like the next idea. So the whole thinking of this is for me to expand our marketing reach by like doing these things and then posting on the socials, creating guides so that other people can work, and then maybe we can get a few leads from that as well. So yeah, let's see how it goes. And for now, I'm going to sign off. All right, it's 8:30. Took longer than I expected. So did my workout, had dinner, but there was like a few house chores to do, finished them as well. And yeah, now before we sit down and do work on AI, agents and stuff, we have to write some scripts for our content. So completely forgot that it's the script writing day. Just checked the calendar before I sat down to see my time block. So yeah, we're gonna first do that, and then after that we'll work on building AI agents. So the whole idea is like I want to get more hands-on use to AI agents. So what we built during the daytime, but more advanced stuff that we can use. I am comparing OpenFlow and Hermes agent. Not sure which to pick, and we have N8N as well. But N8N is not solely for AI agentic purposes, right? It's like more workflow process or automations, and it's not just that. So have to see what the use case is and then use it. But the whole idea is trying to learn more stuff and then build along the way. So yeah, fun stuff. But first, let's finish the scripts. So I ended up deleting a prompt that was part of my whole script generation workflow. So basically this prompt is what I used to get the first draft, and then I edit it after that. So just to get the structure or the format. So what ended up happening was I was supposed to delete another chat that I was like trying to analyze a certain script framework, and then So 3 draft scripts gone. It's currently 10. So 1 hour or so work. Oh, what to do? I'm just refilling the prompt and then going to at least finish one more draft before I hit the other work. So shit happens. All right, 10:30 script is finally done. So I actually didn't stop at the draft. I got the final version over here as well. So we are ready for recording this week. That is ticked off. So going to take a small break, 10 or 15 minutes, and then dive straight into studying a few things and researching for building a few AI agents. So again, I'm going to search and like research between OpenClaw and Hermes agent, what's like better, what for what scenarios. And because like for now we are like using a lot of N18, but I know N18 is not defined specifically to build AI agents. It's like it's much more efficient for general automation stuff, not specifically agents, so like rule-based stuff and all that stuff. So I'm just going to figure out what's going to be the best one, and then use those to build automations for us and for our clients as well. So the whole idea is I learn and then we implement stuff for us and our clients. So yeah, I'm going to take a few minutes off and then back into working. Right, it's close to 12 now, 11:50. Going to wrap up the day. So basically I was going through one of our N18 setups, just trying to see how we can optimize it more. But this is like basically our outreach tool. There's like a couple of different workflows. So this is like one thing we use a lot in our stuff. So trying to bring in an agentic workflow on top of it. So yeah, that's the plan. Good work today. Let's see how things go tomorrow. Good morning. So it's 9 a.m. Enjoying a cup of tea. So anyway,
nice.
Didn't have a good night's sleep, so a little bit mumbled, sort of. Still trying to wake up, but yeah, all good. Going to sit down and get started on work. And I think I was like thinking about this because since we have started the pivot, we have said no to a lot of custom development projects, because if you get started on those again, I feel like we are going back to kind of, the thing is you can't be like 1 foot on this and 1 foot on that. You have to either go in or you have to be either go like outright. You can't be in the middle. So currently we are managing the projects that we have already have. So I think that is enough for now on that end. So it's like basically starting from zero, right? So when I say we have had our business for around 3 years and all that stuff, it's, I think all that things are there removed. It's like, yeah, the only thing is that you had the experience from the previous years, but it's like you're starting from zero going forward. So yeah, but sometimes you got to do what you got to do. So enough mumbling in the morning. I'm too sleepy to talk straight, but yeah, let's get to work. Once again, morning time is for client acquisition. Going to send emails, going to send DMs, and let's see how it goes. All right, it's close to 2. Oh my goodness, it's 12:30. So spent the past couple of hours working on outreach. That is done. We have a small break, grab a cup of tea, and yeah, we have a call at 1 p.m. with Menaka, the co-founder. We are going to sit down and have a chat. So basically moved our daily sync to the middle of the day, again, to free up time and focus on the most important task for us right now in the business, which is focusing on acquiring clients, signing new clients. So yeah, things are moving. So what I typically do during the mid breaks I take is usually watch something related to business. So I research on specific things, on especially on sales and marketing, how to position ourselves, how to write offers, all those things. So all those time, like in the free time, is technically spent on learning something to help the business grow. So yeah, again, I'm trying to showcase the real behind the scenes, because it's like we are starting from zero. So I want to show how the non-glamorous parts of running your own business goes, right? It's not all, what do you call, roses and sunshine. So yeah. මම DM එකෙන් දැම්මොත් නම් මෙසේජ් එක පෙන්නනවා. නැත්නම් අර ගෲප් එකේ channel එකේ දැම්මම නිකන් අර ඔව් ඒ නේ පටන් ගන්න. හරි අපි CR එකක් විතර කියනවා. ඔව් අපේ ඉෂුව එක අපේ පැත්තනේ. All right, so it's 2:30. Meetings are done. So it's the first time that Sashain, me, and Natalia, who's our head of growth, the new hire, all got together and like had a chat. So yeah, good stuff. We are moving in the correct direction. Natalia is coming up with other like ways we can tackle the growth side, signing clients, building the brand, all stuff, good stuff. So yeah, basically I told my team I'm going to focus on the Dream 100 clients. That's going to be my thing. You guys take care of the other 2 sources that we are going to be reaching out to, and all good. So right now gonna have some lunch and then back at it, say a half an hour or so. Yeah, got a few other things to do. So yeah, my afternoons I'm going to spend mostly on tasks that is still high leverage but not as much as outreach. So it can be building out small things, improving areas. So it's like not one defined task, right? I spend those hours basically to find and improve our own things. So maybe it's research, maybe it's building a tool, internal toolkit, maybe it's planning some content out, maybe the marketing strategies, small things like landing pages, VSLs, all those good stuff. So yeah, let's see how it goes. All right, it's 7:30 p.m. Workout done, had dinner, ready to get back into work. So what I'm going to do right now is sit down and create some assets that we are going to be posting alongside content. So a couple of things I'm going to work on. One is actually creating a guide on how to easily use Claude artifacts. The equivalent of that on ChatGPT is the GPTs. So basically it's like very useful to share something that you cannot actually put on a SOP. So something that's dynamic, right? Something that technically, let's say for example, you have to make that decision, but if you can give your thinking to an artifact or a GPT, your employees can easily replicate it. So it's like the SOP is like the static document that gives you the rigid details to do a certain process, but the artifact comes in and like performs and helps them make some decisions that actually they cannot do on their own level. So for example, for us, one is like when we do outreach, we find certain signals or triggers from a prospect and we try to map these pain points into a certain solution. So our sales and marketing team, they cannot actually easily identify the like from the pain point what is like a proposed good solution. So the best thing I have done is put an artifact together where they can go in, put out the ICP, put the pain point, whatever they found, the knowledge, and then basically it spits out the different angles that they can look into when they send the outreach where like the pain point is mapped to a certain solution. So I was thinking it's like pretty cool where like you can use it in multiple instances. So I'm going to create a small guide on how others can do it as well. So this is going to be one piece of content that we're going to put out. So yeah, I'm going to sit down and hopefully do it for the next couple of hours. Okay, it's 10 p.m. So basically drafted the content for the asset, all good. Figuring out how to like make it a bit more attractive. Right now it's like all text, so going to do some image generation for certain areas where it's like easy to basically an image would help. Okay, I'm too sleepy to peek straight, but yeah, done for the day. I'm just gonna log off now, just read a couple of pages of a book and then yeah, call it a night, get up early morning and then continue tomorrow. Good morning. So it's 9 a.m. Today is Thursday. Got to start off the day. So my sales and growth lead, Sachin, requested a meeting in the morning. He has to clarify something. So going to hop into that right now and quickly clarify them. And then once that block is sorted, I'm going to sit down to do outreach for client acquisition. Let's go. All right. Hi. What we do is that again no signal. All right. So Sachin flagged a few important things. So we were testing out this AI tool I created to help them out with different angles for outreach. So the idea is like it takes into account the prospect's agency type, the head count, and then any specific signals they can find. And if there's like no signals, we send kind of a what we call a stage-based email where like, okay, we for a marketing agency, for example, let's say it's like 19 people, and usually there are like a certain set of problems that they run into with operations when they have grown to that number. So what we say is, okay, these things might be true for you and this is how we help, and we just write that email, right? So basically for them to come up with those angles without my input, because again there is a certain set of technical knowledge that is required and SOPs can't do that, because SOP is like a static one. I can't possibly dream about all the different scenarios that can go into it. So what I've created is a application that runs as a Claude artifact. So this is the output. Basically this is like the tool. So what I'm trying to do now is like there's like a few issues here, which is one, basically it's trying to improve it because we did go through the output it was giving and some things were not ideal. So going to change a few things, improve the prompt, tighten the critical rules and all these things. So yeah, I think one thing when you use AI is actually, or like any system, in that matter. When you automate, it's like always good to run the system through with the people who's going to be using it a couple of times, get the feedback. And I mean, like, we do this as a practice for our clients as well. So when we just don't give the system and call it a day, because we actually sit down with their team after the training phase as well and like look into how they use and then get their feedback, because they come up with good feedback as well. So a couple of different things that were pointed out was from Sachin, so who is actually the one who's going to be using it at the end of the day. So again, good things to do. So now I'm going to spend like 15 to 10 minutes before I sit down for right into. So before doing outreach, fix this. So I unblock Sachin so he can do his part and I can do mine. So yeah, it's close to 10 now 9:45 to be honest. So let's quickly fix this and then let's get back into work. All right, so everything is sorted on the tool. Before we do the outreach for the day, I'm going to go for a quick grocery run, have some breakfast. There's no protein in house, so I'm going to run quickly, come back and then sit down and get these things sorted. All right, back after the grocery run, had breakfast. Now let's sit down and do outreach tasks for the day. All right, it's 1:30. Good, productive couple of hours, solid stuff. Outreach done for the day. Gonna grab some lunch and then come back for our meeting sessions. So 2 to 2:30 is the meeting block, and after that we have a few other things to do. Let's grab some lunch first. All right, time for our daily stand-ups. Gonna join for them now. Feature products randomly changed in Hadan. All right, back to work. It's 3 p.m. Couple of things to do. So this is like the time I spend to clear out any blockers and stuff that needs to get done. Sometimes like in the morning, it's like very urgent. So I had to jump straight in and clear out these things. But right now it's like other things. So basically prepping everything needed for the team to do their tasks for tomorrow. So the time block is there every day for me to do that. So today actually, apart from that, so this is for Salons, which is one of our e-commerce products that we built a while back. So it hasn't grown that much because we couldn't put much effort into the sales and marketing side, and we kind of like we have a few customers that are using the platform. So it's not typical SaaS kind of. It's like we have our proprietary system which we install for e-commerce businesses with their own storefront and all. It kind of died down. Have like 5-6 customers which we like onboarded very early on, and after that like we are continuing to serve them but haven't thought about doing anything else. So what we thought was like, why don't we try to revitalize this in a different way, try and actually get a few engagements going, because we have this IP, we have developed it for a long time, why not use it? So Thursday, so I like thought of, okay, I'll put one day the week, couple of hours into it. So right now that's what I'm going to do. So yeah, assign the task and then sit down and work on the marketing side of things for Salons, how we are going to get customers. So one approach I'm trying is to use apps like MintPay, maybe TikTok shops, and like basically find out people who are selling on apps or which do not have a storefront website but they have sales. So which means like having a system where it's like with the storefront and as well as the backend system can help them. So that's like the whole idea. We'll see how it goes. All right, so it's 4 p.m. Work is done. So I created a sales strategy for Salons product. That's all good. I'm trying to automate it as much as possible because I really can't put in the effort that I'm doing for Unwir for that. So it's like, since we have the IP, we're trying to get like 1 or 2 customers onboarded per month. Not a huge target. It's a long-term game. And also cooking a new banner image using Honest for our LinkedIn, well, my LinkedIn. So that's going off. Yeah. So gonna take a break. We're gonna hit the grounds today. We're gonna play some cricket with the boys. That's going to be the workout. And yeah, I'll be back around 6:30. So it's been a while since we got a chance to play some cricket. So going to be some good exercise. Good to get the break, and going to come back around 6:30, sit down and do some work in the night again. All right, it's 7 p.m. We are back. So yeah, good cardio session. We ended up playing some tag rugby as well. So all good. Had my dinner as well. We're back to work. So what I'm going to do right now is, one, I had to finish up the asset that I was creating yesterday. So it was basically a guide on how to use artifacts on Cloud to essentially like create a second brain of yourself for small tasks that an SOP can't cover. So for dynamic ones that a static guide can't actually give guidance to your team. I know now it's like basically all over the internet, where like someone says the easiest way to scale your agents is you do something, you write an SOP, then pass it over to your VA. Yeah, sometimes it doesn't happen like that, right? SOP can't cover everything, so you need certain dynamic decisions or like information that a VA can't handle because it's part of your knowledge and skill. So I'm like figuring out, basically the guide was on how to create an artifact with a piece of your brain where the knowledge is passed on, and then it gives like specific guides based on certain scenarios to the VA. So putting that together, and then after that I have to technically summarize the week one vlog that we have put up right now on our channel. So it's just to summarize it and then come up with a version where it's like ready for a short. So for Instagram and YouTube shorts, we had to do that as well. So I'm gonna get those two things done, and I also plan to do a bit of studying on how to structure a vlog properly, because I did give it a comment on my first vlog that I put out that it was a bit unstructured. So gonna study a few entrepreneurs, going to take a look at Shan Hanif. I think his content and vlogging style series Week Flow is like super great. So going to study those things, and yeah, going to spend the next couple of hours working on those stuff. Right, so just finished up the resource, looking good, the guide. Hopefully this helps someone to actually recreate what I did. So this is, I think, the power of AI, right? You still use your knowledge, you use your expertise, but you use AI to areas that actually, for example, if I just had to write this entire thing on my own, it would have taken so much more time. But now I used like a prompt where like it generated the content. I just reviewed it, edited in a couple of areas that I didn't like it, and the other, like the images that you saw on that document, those things were generated on the prompt with the entire context using Gamma connected to Claude. So it was like basically for me, the only thing left to do was pass down my knowledge, get the output, and refine it. So I think sometimes we like, yes, it's like over glorify AI, but if you really use it in the correct places, it's going to give you a massive advantage. So yeah, that is done. We are going to now work on the content. So first summarizing the vlog, and then studying structuring vlogs. All right, it's 11 p.m. and we are done for the day. Good day today, productive, as long as we keep the tasks done, get the ball rolling. So I heard this quote from, I think Alex Hormozy says it, Shan Hanif says it. So your target should be to always get 1% better every day, because eventually you are going to get like to a really super good place. So yeah, it's all about consistency. Keep going. So yeah, thought for the day. Let's wrap up and back again tomorrow. All right, good morning. It's Friday, 9 a.m. now, last day of the week. Have a few stuff to do. Again, number one priority is outreach. So I had to complete the verification for our payment gateway that we used in one of our products, Docrima, which is a ERP, pocket-based EMR. So I'm going to take care of that as well. So just to give some context, I think one of the mistakes we've done is get into products before we've like solidified any idea about. So usually how it goes is people from service businesses get onto product once they like have some solid foundation and cash flow in the service business, where they can like pay and like have separate team work on the product sides. But what we did kind of in the wrong way was like we sort of like used our spare time to work on our products, and the issue there is we also like we didn't focus too much on go to market, right? So we build, but then finding clients, getting it out, getting the brand known, those things also we didn't like, we had to consider that side, which we didn't. So again, our two products, Salence, which we worked on yesterday, and Documark, which we are going to be working on today. So right now it's like all on me. It's like currently trying to do the go-to-market for three, right? So Unwir, Salence, and Documark. So Salence and Documark we haven't separated them as separate entities. It's like basically products from Unwir sort of. But yeah, so again, the plan is like Documark, like actually we do have a pilot running as well. We haven't launched it live. That's why, like I said, processor verification, we had to do that with payment gateway. We have used Cream. There's a few other stuff that needs to go through so we can like actually accept live payments. But after that, we had to then go get the marketing side done. But I think that's like a bad way to do it. You had to start with getting at least the wait listing, finding clients, customers early, those kind of things. We missed those. Again, we didn't have anyone to do the marketing side. We were pure setup developers. So yeah, a learning curve. We're learning things. We are not doing the same mistake again. So that's good. However, having said that, I'm going to go to the salon first thing in the morning and get a haircut and a trim, and then be back to start work. So yeah, let's get started with the day. All right, yeah, back. Took longer than I expected, but it's 11 a.m. Haircut, train done, had breakfast. Going to sit down and work on outreach. And new head of growth, Natalia, has sent me a report where she was working on evaluating the current strategies that we are doing and her recommendations. So I'm going to take a look at that after the outreach as well. So yeah, let's get back to work. Okay, it's 1 p.m. and the outreach is done for the day. So right now I'm going to review the report that was sent to me by our head of growth. It's right here. Going to go through it. And add my feedback. So then after that, we are going to have a discussion after I go through it, and we'll see what she has prepared here based on our current outreach strategy and what she thinks we should improve and all that stuff. So yeah, going to take a look on that for the next couple of minutes, and yeah. All right, so just finished reviewing the report that Head of Growth Hire, Natalia, sent across. A few good areas and a couple of things that I would push back considering our stage and all, but overall good strategy document. Just finished creating a feedback document that I will send across, and it's almost 3 p.m. and I'm going to hop on a call. So this is a weekly call we have with our bank clients. So yeah, going to hop on that, discuss what we are working on, what they are working on, so we can get things moving. And yeah, let's see how it goes. All right, so meeting done, and I've been working on some content for Doc Remark, and we are also working on a so technically it's like outbound. So the strategy is this: we will be sending out postcards for the OPD medical faculties, physical postcards, right? So this one thing is the doctors, it's like very difficult to catch them on socials and all. It's not very practical, otherwise you have to just call them, and with their schedule it's like very unlikely you can pitch them directly on a call. So the best thing is we are going to send them postcards, and then they get the postcard where like we have given all the things what we do, and then basically has QR as well. So that's like the idea. I got it actually from I think it was a doormat company that once did it. They actually sent the doormats to their customers. Like the first batch was free or something, so it was like crazy. So let's see how it goes. They're designing this. So Claude is working on content. So why I started was just before like we just send anything, I just asked like just see what we can put in the postcard where like we can target their pain points and all, and like finalize the content to come onto that. So that's the strategy you're working with. Yeah, going to take it from here. All right, it's 4:30. Work is done. So I have to create the postcard design. It didn't come out very well. I have to realign it, but have the bare bones with. So going to improve on it tonight. Yeah, going to take a small break, work out, and then come back tonight. However, we'll be not filming today. So let's see how the night time goes. But for now, yeah, break time. Righto, it's 8 p.m. Took longer than I expected. There was like a few things to do around the house, so helped on those. And yeah, we are back. So instead of working on the poster I left earlier, I'm just going to push it back to next week. So my brother and I, like, we thought of a small content sort of challenge for next week. So it's like going to be showcasing a 30-day challenge to sign our first client. So it's going to be challenging myself as well as like showcasing the actual process of signing a client from starting from zero without any testimonials or anything. So it's going to be interesting. So I'm just going to sit down now and plan how we are going to do that. So it's going to be on Instagram. Maybe we do it on LinkedIn as well, where we just give a summary, but we'll see how it goes. It's going to be interesting to see. But yeah, just going to spend a couple of minutes planning that, and after that I'm just going to take a break tonight, enjoy, as in not doing too much, but we're gonna watch a movie or so before we hit bed. But yeah, just gonna spend the next couple of maybe around half an hour or so working on this.